Hi guys, good evening, good morning, good afternoon, depending on when you're watching this. Alright, so it's Maverick once again here. Welcome to my space. And in today's video, we'll be learning how to create exactly what you can see on your screen. So as my custom is, get whatever you need to learn, your notepad, your pen, a bottle of soft drink. Alright, just get ready, get prepared, because we'll be learning a whole lot, my tips, tricks, and definitely you're going to gain new knowledge. So let's get started. I already have all the elements imported. So as my custom is, I will just unhide them and get to hide them and get unhide them when we need them. Alright, so let's get started. I wouldn't make this video too long, so just stay true and learn what you need to learn, and also add your touch of creativity and replicate. Alright, so we'll be starting right away. Alright, so we start immediately. The first thing we need to do, I'm going to change my background. I'm going to use a black background. So just stay true. There's no, the color code for this one just basically 000 in 6 places. So just go to your background icon and change the color to black. You would find the color in your color palette. So here's the color, change it to black, and fine, here it is. So we are one step ahead. So the next thing I'm going to do, I'm basically going to write out all the text I need, and then we'll make adjustments and do the relative changes as it applies to this. So the first thing first, import your texts and edit it. We're going to write disruptive Twitter space discussion. Disruptive Twitter space discussion. Alright, so once upon a time, this flyer was all over social media, and if you know who the host is, you would know what it means. Alright, so it wasn't a small event. This is Taz Igor, and he held a Twitter space that pulled in a large audience, and then what was discussed was very, very disruptive, I would say. You can see the lineup of speakers he had here. Alright, so the session was a great one, and I was privileged to work with him. Alright, so after this, sorry for that. The next one we're going to do now is we're going to copy this text and edit it. We're gonna write them so you get an. So just copy this, edit this. So you get an. Okay, I think you mean now why. So you get an. Okay, let's just put this here. We'll come back to edit all of them soon. So let's still copy this and edit it to what's next. What's next? A question. Okay, so after that, what next do we need to do? Let's still copy this and then type idea, edit it, type idea all in block letters. Idea. So let's increase the size of this, although we'll still come to this later. Just leave it here. So the next thing we need to do, let's bring to the front so we can see clearly. Okay, so let's just copy this and edit it to add our text. So 15th April 2022 8 p.m. prompt. 15th April 2022 8 p.m. prompt. 15th April 2022 8 p.m. prompt. Prompt. Okay, so here it is. So let's just bring this down here, bring this over here. Alright, so the next we need to do, copy this and we edit this to request access to get participation link. Request access to get participation link. Request access to get participation link. Full stop. Okay, we need to edit this again. Access is in block letters. Link. Okay, let me just edit this. abagofback.com. Request access. Okay, yeah, we are good to go. Okay, so the next thing we need to do is just to basically the names of our speakers. We can choose to do it now, we can choose to do it later, but I think it would be good if we just do them now. So let's just do it now instead of spending so much time. So okay, let's start from Tamilore Adewuyi. So let's copy this, basically copy this. Tamilore Adewuyi. Right, so I'll write all the speakers down so I can copy them later. Adewuyi. The next person is Esther. Odemwingie, a copywriter, right? She's the one that held the conference, Impact Conference. I think that was during the month of March. March. All right, and the next person is, okay, let me just write Taz Ego. Alright, next person, Fortune. Daddy like no other. Alright, the next person is Kenny Wokoye. Kenny Wokoye. We have Adam Maruf. We have Ine Joseph. Ine. So are they 7? Yes, they're 7. Right. So one thing I noticed is that in this online world, you grow in circles. Yeah, you grow in circles. If you think you can grow in the online space as a loner, sorry. You might be able to grow, but your growth will take time. Alright, and no one wants a delayed growth. I mean, no one. Alright, so in this online world, you grow as a circle. So if you don't know how to network now, it's good thing you learn how to network. Even as a graphic designer, it's a good thing you know how to network with your fellow graphic designers. Yeah. It's a good thing you know how to network with your fellow graphic designers. Most persons might not tell you this. You think, okay, I'm a graphic designer, so I don't need other graphic designer. Who told you that? Alright. It will get to a point whereby for you to actually fit online or even offline, you need to collaborate with other of your colleagues doing the same thing. No one's an island of knowledge. Alright. So that being said, so basically I'm just copying the names. Alright, so I wouldn't have to bother typing them. Type them at once and then edit them. Select all, paste, copy this, cuts, Kenny Wokoye. abagofback.com. Wokoye, copy, edit, paste, Joseph Ine, cuts, bring it down here, copy, edit, select all, paste. Yes, so we are good to go. So we've imported basically what we need to import. Let's reduce this. So what else is left for us to do here? We've basically done the chunk of what we need to do. So let me reduce this still. We'll still come later to edit them. Just leave this temporal as Fortune, Kenny, and Joseph. Alright, so here we are. So after this, basically the next thing we are going to do, I think we should just start working on our design. Let's start working on our design. So let's increase this to see what next we need to do. The next thing we are going to do now is, okay, let's work on our fonts, and then we change the color, and then we put the size and all of that. So what you see in this disruptive Twitter space discussion, it looks like a gradient, right? Yes, but unfortunately it's not a gradient. What I did there was I used texture to get that color you can see. So it was a texture I applied to the text to make it this feeling. All right, but that of idea is a gradient color, while the curve where the names are, it's also a texture that was applied. So I think we can just do that now. Let's import a shape, a circle to be precise. Expand this circle. We're going to expand it. Alright, let's reduce the size a bit and then increase the width. Let's increase the width. I think increase a little bit more. Okay, let's reduce it a bit. I'm trying to scale with my eye. Okay, yes, so we are good to go with this. So let's bring this somewhere here. Bring this somewhere here. It's all right. So let's centralize this. Relative position, centralize this, and then let's copy it. Let's copy it and color this also. Let's color this also. So change the color to red and leave it here. We'll come back to work on this. All right. Okay. So we'll leave this here and we'll come to work on it later. So let's bring this down a bit. Move it upwards a bit. Alright, so let's proceed. So the next thing we need to do, so basically the font I used here was MTN Brighter Sans, and one other which I would locate. So let's change this to MTN Brighter Sans. MTN, okay. So I'll reduce the size. Leave that 20, and then position this to the center. Move this upward a bit. Upward. Alright, so there it is. So the next thing I need to do is let's work on this so you get an. Alright, so the size for this, let's increase the size. Let's leave that 35. Centralize this. The font also MTN Brighter Sans, so change the font. This. Alright, so I still need to centralize this. Okay, so basically the color I used here is a simple color. It's a color, so let's change the color. Go to color. I'll give us the color code. Alright, so the color code for this F7BB07. F7BB07. Alright, so here it is. So this is the color I used for that. Alright, so the font I use for this it's a weird font. Alright, so this is it. Al Valenciaga. Al Valenciaga. Alright, so this exactly was the font I used for it. Al Valenciaga. I think I should send this to you. I would send us. It should be in the font pack I sent to you. So it should be in one of the font pack. I'll send you a series of font packs. It should be in one of the font pack I sent to you. But if you can locate it there, try to download it. You can get it online, right, from the font site. So this was the font I used for it. So we are going to increase the size of this. Increase the size of this. Increase the size. It's going to be a bit large. Okay, let's leave it where it is now. Then centralize this. Move it downwards a bit. Move it downwards. Alright. So basically, let me bring this down first. So if you observe, the gradients I use for this is not just one, not just two. Alright, there were a series of gradients. So I'll just let me bring this to the front so you can see what I'm doing. The gradient I used for this were a series of colors. Alright, so relative colors. I'll give us the color code that was used. Yes, I'll give us color code that was used. So just go to your colors, click on gradients, click on plus icon. So we would need about 7 or 6. Let's just say six different layers. So just add 4 more. Alright, so just evenly distribute them. Let me put that word. Let me use the word. Evenly distribute them. Or however you want to do it, you can tweak yours. Alright, so just be creative about this. You can tweak yours, evenly distribute them, or tweak yours. So the first color code I used was FF9100. FF9100. No. FF9000. Disturbing me here. 9100. Okay. So the second color, the color code is FFE238. FFE238. Alright. So the third color, the color code here is FF7714. FF7714. Alright. So the fourth color, the color code is FFA700. FFA700. The fifth color, the color code is FFD245. FFD245. And the last layer, the color code is DE9109. DE9109. Alright, so here it is. So I'm not going to use what you can see here is the first, this stuff here. This is the second, but we are going to use the first. So I want us to use the first stuff here, or probably might even make it different. Let's use the third. Okay, yes, good. Let's use the third. So I would want to adjust mine now. Like I said, you can go creative about yours. I want to adjust mine a bit. I want to adjust mine. Okay, so I think I'm good to go with this.
Abagatbag.com.
Alright, it's not giving me what I want. Let me still adjust mine a bit. Okay, I think it's now coming out. Let me still adjust it a little bit. Okay, I'll adjust them. Let me see the color. I'll make this a bit darker. Okay, all right. all light. So just adjust yours, tweak yours, go creative about it. You don't need to follow exactly what I'm doing here. I'm just adjusting it to my own taste. So you can also adjust yours. You can choose to get creative about the color you want to use. All right. Yeah, so I think I'm okay with this. Yeah, I'm good to go with this. So the next thing I need to do is, if you look at the flyer closely, you would see what was done. It has some extra layers, some extra outlines. All right. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to make this. I'm going to use give this a stroke. So just enable stroke. Okay, leave my stroke as 4 and make it black. All right. So okay, yeah, I'm going to leave it like this. So next I'm going to do, I'm going to copy this font, this text, copy it, and then I would increase the size a bit, but then I would have to remove the stroke. The stroke is not needed here. Stroke is not needed. Okay, the stroke is needed, but not now. Let's leave it this way. So what I'm going to do is I'll go to my, let me expand it a little bit. Okay, let me just say 128. 128 is fine. So let me centralize this. All right, move it upwards. Okay. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to remove all the colors I used here. So just continue clicking this your minus dots here. All right, so cancel this. Okay, then click on color. Let it be just one plain color, and then make your color very transparent. So you can see now after making, okay, so that you won't get confused, go to color, remove, or instead of removing it, that's not necessary. Instead of removing, just go to color here, make the color just one color, any color, because we're going to make it transparent. So after choosing the color you want, now click on this plus icon and make that color transparent. Right, so we don't want to have a color, make the color transparent. After doing that, now go to your stroke. Here's the stroke, and then enable the stroke. All right, so I'm going to make this my stroke with very slim. All right, I'll leave it at, yeah, at 1 should be fine. Let the stroke width be 1, and then change the stroke color to white, as you can see. All right, so I can now go on to centralize now. Centralize this and move this upward. Move this upward. All right, so I think this is fine. So what you just need to do is bring this other one to the front or send this one to the back. All right, so here it is. So the next thing I did here, was basically this same text I copied. You do the same. I'm going to erase the color. So just go to color, choose one particular color, and then make it transparent. So after making it transparent, you can see the black stroke that was applied before. So all we need to do is reduce the width of the black stroke. Just make it 1. Yes, so I'm going to centralize this now. Relative position, centralize it, and then move it upwards. I'll position it in such a way that it will distort. I want it to distort the stuff itself. Okay, so something is disturbing. Where's that white stroke? This is the white stroke, right? Okay, so let's bring the main, okay, this is the main text here. Let's bring it to the front. Exactly. So this is the, unhide this. Exactly. Yeah, perfect. So this other black stroke, yeah, this should be the black stroke. Bring it now to the front. All right, so now adjust it, move it to the right a bit, move to the right or move to the left, however you want yours to be. But I choose to move mine to the left. All right, so let it be distorted, let it not align with the main text itself. All right, so you can see this. So this was how this was achieved. So the next thing we need to do is for the what's next, let's change the size. It's looking too small, so we increase the size to around let's just keep increasing it. It's not going to be much. All right, so let's leave it at 30. Centralize this relative position, bring it downwards a bit, and then we're going to change the fonts. You change the font, this. Yeah, so let's increase the size a bit. Yeah, leave it at 35. Centralize this as well, move it downwards. Alright, so the color we use there is the gradient we use for idea. So go to gradients and click on that we use for idea. I think this was it. Yes, any of them, sure. It's just the gradient we use for idea. So the next thing we need to do now, let's bring it to the front so we can see clearly. Next thing we need to do for our disruptive Twitter space that we can see here, let me move this downwards a bit. We are going to draw a line, a straight line, like I showed us in one of our videos earlier. We're not going to make use of a shape. We are going to draw a line using our Bezier tool. So all you need to do is come here, simply click on your background where you don't have any elements on it, so it will give you these options. So click on Bezier tool. So we want to draw a line now. Click on your grid icon here. All right, so you can see these two pointers by the sides. All right, so this is what you use to do. You can use this to carve out images. You can use this to create curvy lines and all the rest. All right, so I'll be showing us how to do that in one of the videos I would send later. All right, so what I need to do now is click on this second option here under Bezier mode. Click on this is now to adjust the curvy line that we can see. We can't see it now because it's black and the background is black. So if you change it to a different color, you should be able to see it. All right, so you can see. So let's click on this white circle. But before I do that, I would click on magnet to make sure that this magnet over here is to make sure that as you are editing this stuff, like whenever I click on this, let me show you what I mean. When you click on this Bezier mode, the second one, now once you want to adjust this stuff, once you touch any of this grid icon, it's on a straight line. But then if it's not magnetic, you wouldn't know when it's on that line, alright, because your hand might be obstructing it, so you wouldn't be able to see clearly when it's on the straight line, except you want to adjust it, and then you might not know if it's perfectly straight. Alright, so that's why I use this magnetic tool. Once it's perfectly straight, also on the line, the grid will be highlighted. Just watch carefully. You see that once it touches that line, you can see that the grid now has been highlighted. It has something like a red outline on it, highlighted. So now it's a straight line. Click on the second one, also adjust it and make sure it touches the white circle. Right, now it's highlighted. So we have a straight line now. All we need to do, I'm going to reduce the stroke width, make the stroke width just 1. I don't want it to be too. Alright, so I'm going to increase the size now. To increase the size, come over here. This you can see here. So click on this and increase the length. You scale it. too much. It's still too much. The idea is that I don't want it to be longer than the text. I want it to be longer than text. So I think this should do. Yeah, this should do 84. That's right. So the next we need to do, we're going to change the color to white. So go to color, just scroll down, change it to white, and then Vowler we have line. So go to position and take it upward, move it upwards. Okay, it's okay there. Then we can now copy this relative position and move it downwards. Move it downwards. Okay, let's bring it downwards a bit. It's too close. Alright, so here's what we have. Let's now remove our grid. We don't need that grid anymore. Okay, so good. So this is what we have. We are making progress. So the next one we need to do now basically is these three dots. We can work on our 3 dots now. All you need to do is just to create a text, and then what I did basically was not dots. No, I went to on your keyboard. Alright, you should have locate where you have this dotted sign here. Wow, see effects. I'm just noticing this. Awesome. That's nice. Alright, so just click on this 3 times. This was what I used, not a circle, not full stop. Alright, so this was what I used. So centralize this, adjust it a bit to the edge here. Alright, so like an ellipsis, an incomplete statement. So let me increase the size. 45 would do just fine. Okay, so 45 or 50 is fine. So color it and use the same gradient. Yeah, I prefer to use the same gradient for it. So now place this properly. Place this properly. Alright, so I can leave that there. So the next thing we need to do now is let's bring to the front. Okay, so we can now work on our image, our picture, the picture of our speakers. We can work on them now. So before we do that, let me move all of these names. Let me hide this, pin this so it doesn't disturb me. So let me move them upwards. So I can make use of it when I need to. Let's move them. Alright, so I'm going to unhide our images now. Remember, I imported them. I would send us the images to use. For some reason, I won't be sending us these particular images, but I will send us some images we can make use of. Alright, so this, let's bring this to the front, or not necessarily, just leave it the way it is. Position it somewhere here. For Tamilore, we will need to reduce the size. Let's bring it to the front so we can see clearly what we're doing. Reduce the size. Position this somewhere here. For Adam Maruf, move it to the front. Reduce it this. Now you can see that we adjusted his picture. I rotated his picture. So all you need to do is go to crop and come over here, flip it the other way around. Yeah, so I flipped his picture and I had this. So I'm still going to reduce it a bit. Alright, so leave this here. What's next? Okay, Taz, the boss. Alright, so just leave this here. I think this is even okay. The size is okay. Alright, so who is next? My father, Fortune Namdi. Alright, so reduce his picture, increase it a bit. yes. And then who's next? Kenny. Bring this forward. So you can, same thing I did for AJ's picture. I rotated this, so just flip it to the other side. So I flipped it and I placed it here. I think I need to reduce this a bit. Place this here. Still reduce this a bit. Alright, and then Esther, the smile preneur, bring to the front. I flipped our image also, go to crop and then flip to the other side. So just reduce it and place it somewhere here. Reduce this till a bit. So I think I'm going to increase the size of this guy's picture, Tamilore. So place this here now. Yeah, I'm good. Place it at the back, send it to the back. Alright, so that can stay there. So Esther's picture, we can also send this to the back. Send this to the back. Alright. AJ's picture, we can send it to the back now. Send to the back. Send to the back. Just send everything to the back. Alright, so we can see that something is, Joseph's picture is not really showing. So adjust this and position it properly. For now, let me increase the size of this picture. Alright, so let me centralize Taz's picture. Let me centralize this picture more. Okay, it's at the center now. Yes, it is. So what I'll need to do is I would adjust the circles, move them downwards a bit, upward a bit. So this is okay. I want his face to show very well. Okay, so this is fair enough. So after doing that, let's now pin this, so we don't have to adjust this any longer. So the next we need to do, let's work on let's work on Adam Maruf's picture. So what we need to do for his picture, we're going to bring it forward. Alright, it's going to be in front of Esther's picture. Alright, so let me use my this also. Okay, I think what I did for them was that I separated my grid into 7 places. So that each picture can be in one grid. Alright, so what we're going to do now is, over here where you have your grid and your settings, click here, come here where you have these anti-clockwise or clockwise rather circle arrow, click on it and then adjust your number of vertical guides, make it 6. So 1 2 3 4 5 6 7, so you can see 7 boxes. Alright, so what we need to do now is to make sure each box is allocated to one face. So you can see now Taz's picture has the center box. So I'm going to make this guy's picture, Adam Maruf, have the third box. Alright, so all of them are going to have equal boxes. So move his picture upward a bit. Alright, so same thing for Esther. So now click on Fortune's picture, go to your layers, click on Fortune's picture. Let's also adjust this one. Alright, so bring this upward a bit. Yes. So let's leave this here. I think we need to reduce his picture a bit, the size. Alright, 46 is okay, it's fair. Let's move this sideways a bit, bring this downwards, upwards. Yeah, so this is okay. This is okay. So what we need to do is click on Taz's picture. Click on Taz's picture. This Taz picture. Bring Taz's picture now to the front of all the pictures. Yes. Alright. So the next thing we need to do now, let's work on extra picture. Extra picture. So locate a picture. Here it is. Let's reduce the size of our picture. Reduce the size. Reduce the size a bit. Okay, let's leave it at 38. So now let's place this properly. Position this properly. Bring it downwards a bit. Alright, let's increase the size still. Let's make it 39. Alright, so we adjust it, move it upwards a bit. Alright, so this is fair. This is fair. Now let's work on Tamilore's picture. So click on Tamilore's picture, send to the back. Alright, so you can see what I'm trying to achieve. You can see the structure I'm trying to place. Alright, so bring Tamilore's picture downwards a bit. Alright, so that is fair. That is fair. You can see I'm trying to make it kind of descending order. So Taz's picture should be the highest, order should be coming downwards a bit. That kind of structure that I'm trying to achieve. So the next thing we need to do is click on Kenny's picture, Kenny Wokoye. Now let's adjust his picture. I'm going to bring this picture, send his picture to the back. Okay, it's already at the back of Fortune Namdi's, so that's fine. Let's just adjust it a bit upwards. Let's adjust it upwards and make it fit into his own circle. So we are going to increase the size a bit. Yeah, increase the size a bit. Awesome. Move it once more. Yeah, so I'll leave it like that. So work on Joseph's picture. Joseph's picture. Let's send this to the back first of all. Send to the back, and then make it fit into his own box. Alright, so here is what we have. Here is what we have. Right, so that has been achieved. We can now remove our grid. So you can see the structure we achieved. Alright, so this was how I was able to come up with this. So the next thing I need to do, I need to adjust this. My text is looking close. It's very close to the stuff, to the pictures. So just mark all of them so you get an idea what's next and move them upward. So come over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So move them upward. So I think this is fair. Alright, so this, so you get, let me bring it downwards a bit. Yes, and this is what's next. Let me move it upward a bit. Alright, so this is fine. So we're almost done with this. So the next thing we need to do now is basically let's now work on the names of the speakers that we can see here. Let's work on the names. So let's start from Tamilore. So the fonts I used for all of them were the same fonts, and that is MTN Brighter Sans. So Tamilore, reduce this, and we are going to align this properly. Let it be centralized, the alignments, and then bring this downwards. Bring it to the front. Now basically it won't show because our semicircle is white and then our text is also white. So let's just change the color of our semicircle before we add our texture to it. So let's locate where it is. Which is it? Okay, so it's this one. Let's just change the color quickly. We'll come back to adjust that, enable it. Let's make it black first. Alright, so this is fair. So Tamilore, adjust this. Now you'll see what I did for all of them. I made their surnames. Okay, their name were meant to be in capital letters, while their surname in small letters. But still notwithstanding, leave it. You can just do it that way, but I'm not adjusting them anymore. So I rotated this, and then I made their surname bolder than their name. So just go to your texts, click on style, highlight their surname, and make it bold. Alright, make it bold. So place it here, position it in such a way that it will relate to his name. Alright, move this upwards a bit, and then I'll see how I need to rotate this some more. Alright, so this is fair for Tamilore. For Tamilore, it's fair. So I think I need to increase the font size of their names. Alright, so their name, let's increase the font size a bit. Okay, there's no need, let's leave it that way, the way it is. Estelle Demwinge, do the same thing, align it to the center, and then change the fonts. Make the fonts M10 Brighter Sans. Alright, so bring it downwards, send to the front, and then make the name, the surname bold, then rotate it. Alright, so let's place this. Look for how to place this. Yeah, so I think this is fair enough. Yeah, well placed, although I might need to adjust it a bit, rotate it a bit. Let me do it manually. Alright, so that's fair. So Adam Maruf, do the same thing, align it to the center, the name to the center, and then change the fonts. Go to recent M10 Brighter Sans, then go to your style, highlight the surname, make it bold. So bring it downwards, here. Where's the name? Let's look for the name. Here is the name. Bring it to the front, and then we adjust this a bit. And then position it properly. Position this properly. And bring this downwards. Alright. So I'll leave his own there. So that of Taz Igor, his own would be centralized. Bring to the front. So let's just go to relative position. Exactly. And then change the fonts. Same font was used, Brighter Sans. Go to style, highlight his surname, make it bold. Alright, so let's bring it downwards a bit. Position downwards. Fair. Alright, so just to make sure. Alright, so the next thing you need to do is that of Fortune Nnamdi. So change the fonts, Brighter Sans, the style, highlight his surname and make it bold. Then align it to the center. To adjust this, hold on. Let me see. 17. Oh, wow. Let me look for his name. Bring to the front. Okay, good. So send it back to its normal size, 17. Alright, so position is here also. So I'm going to rotate this a bit. Yeah, so still position this downwards. Take it to this side, sideways. Let me bring this downwards a bit. I'm trying to get something in my eye. Okay. So bring Taz's on down a bit. Bring Taz's down a bit. Okay, awesome. So let's move this a bit upward. Downwards a bit, sideways a bit. Alright. So that of Kenny Okoye, adjust it and position this down here. Bring it to the front. So align it to the center. Change the font, the style, highlight its own name, make it bold. Change the font to this, and then let's place this here. So let's rotate this. Alright, so there it is. So the next thing we need to do, the next person now, I think these two guys' names are larger than the rest. Let me check the size of others. It looks larger. 14. Okay. My eye can't deceive me. I know my eye can't deceive me. Alright. So move this a bit. Alright, so change the size also to 14. This one's even 18 now. Wow. Alright, so move this downwards a bit. And then that of Ine Joseph, we do the same thing. Let's bring this down to the front. And then the size 14. The font, same font. The style should be boldened. And then align to the center. So let's now move this upward and rotate it. So we want to rotate it this way. Alright, so move it upwards. Alright, so I want to check something again. I want to make sure each of them, the names are in their spaces. So let's adjust them now. Esther, her name is too long, so it might exceed her own space, or try as much to make sure it's within her space. Alright, just the way it is. Adama Roof, the same. We need to rotate hers more. Okay, so this is fair. Let me bring that a bit. I just love mine being perfect. My eyes would always spot it that when it's not perfect. So don't mind my many adjustments. It's just part of me, and I think I love it that way. Alright, so that is in its own position. Move this. No. Okay, a bit. Kenny, move it, make sure it's in its space. Yeah, even Joseph even. So let's see what we've got. Awesome. So you can see the concept I'm trying to create. Alright, so this is just perfect. Although I'm having issues with the length of Esther's son name, it's making it look a bit disjointed, and I don't want to make it curved. But that's fine. Alright, so we leave it the way it is. So So the next we need to do now is we've successfully achieved this. All right. Well, we're almost entering an hour of this video. So the next we need to do is our text. 15th April, where thou? Here it is. So we bring this to the front, bring this forward, and then the font we use is the same font, MTN Brighter Sans. So what does it tell you, and what can you see? What did you notice? You notice the principle of repetition here. So I'm going to make this bold, bring this downwards, relative position, move it downwards a bit. All right, move it downwards a bit, and then that of the other guy, where is he? Request access, bring it to the front. All right, change the font. No, font MTN Brighter Sans. So get this down here. Let's reduce the size a bit. All right, so leave that 22. Position into the center, and then let's make the access, just access, bold. So highlight access. Oh no, highlight access and make it bold.
abagabag.com.
I'm gonna make this bold. Yeah, so bold. Exactly. So the next thing we need to do is we're almost done. So just import icon for dates and time, which is this. So unhide this, bring it to the front. Right, so this is it. Let's erase the color, the white color. We don't need you. Increase the tolerance. Leave that 45. So by now you should know the reason why I always increase my tolerance whenever I erase a particular color. By now you ought to know. So let's change this red, the semicircle of our red. We need it to be white. Okay, so this is it. The color is meant to be white. So go to color and adjust it to be white. So adjust this. It's meant to be black because of contrasts. So let the color be black. Black it is. So bring this down here, adjust this very well, position it at the center and move it downwards. Yeah, move it downwards. Alright, so yes, fine. Let's move this downwards a bit. Alright, so remaining our request access. So this actually we are going to make it. Basically, this also was a gradient that was applied to it. A gradient was applied to this. So when we import a gradient, would settle that. Move it downwards a bit. So here it is. So the next thing we need to do, basically, we are almost done with our design. So let's work on our background now. Yeah, I feel we should work on our background now. So the first thing we need to do is this was the background I used. Alright, so let me go to the front so you can see. What I did there was basically just to adjust this background. So I increased the size and made it fitted to my workspace. So let me bring a normal image to the front so we can see what we are doing. Bring it forward. So let me still increase the size. Exactly, this is what I want. So position it related. Oh no. Okay, I'm out of space. Position this properly. I'm going to bring this downwards a bit. So you should be able to see the focus. My idea here is to make these lights. I want to make these lights reveal the hosts. Alright, but it's going to be dim. So I really don't need this background and everything here. It's just this light I need, this light effect. So what I need to do now, I'm going to adjust this image, this picture. I'm going to play with it. So I'll just reduce the opacity totally. But before reducing the opacity, I'll play with the color filters. So let me see. I'll play with the color filters, make it 180. Let me see saturation. Exactly. So make my saturation negative 100. Saturation negative 100. So increase my brightness, or rather reduce the brightness. So make the brightness minus 15, negative 15, and then the contrast, I'll make it positive 15. Yeah. So this is what I want. Exactly what I want. So now I can now reduce my opacity. Just make it half, 50. Alright, so you can see this now. I'm going to send it to the back. So now send this to the back. Awesome. So you can see what we are having. Exactly, this is what we are having. So the next thing we need to do now is to get our other background, which is this, bring it to the front as well. So we are going to, or rather I'm going to expand this. Alright, so I'm going to expand this a bit. It's not necessary to cover the whole this stuff. I just need it somewhere here. Position it to the center. So let me bring my image here. You can be able to see what I'm doing. Alright, so basically what I did here was I adjusted. I also played with this. So let me go to my color filter. That's the way I do play with my images, to adjust the way I want it to be, to make sure it blends with my image. So my color filter, I made my hue 30. The hue 30. You can see the way it's sharp. Then I made my saturation just 5. I don't want it to be overly sharp. Alright, so the brightness, I reduced the brightness to 100, negative 100. Alright, I didn't touch the contrast. So what I'll just do here now is just reduce the opacity, make the opacity very, very dim, faint. Alright, so basically, so if you might not be able to see it, let me increase my screen brightness. As you just see it faintly, that's what I want. So send it to the back. Alright, so we can faintly see it on our screen. Yeah, I think I love it that way. So increase it a bit. So just leave it at 15. Leave it at 15, does not need to be really visible. But let's make it 20. Then move it upwards. Yes. Move it upwards. So this is fine. This is okay, you'll ask me. So the next we need to do, basically, our Twitter icon, let's place this. So bring this forward. Now we're going to erase the color, disable it. So we're going to use our color dropper. We want to select the black color, not the white this time around. So here it is. Alright, so I'll just reduce the size. So to just send a message at once to the audience that, okay, this is a Twitter, this has to do with Twitter. Alright, that's the reason why I'm putting this here. Alright, so I'll just add a stroke to it. Or not even a stroke, I'm going to add a shadow to it. I'll blur the rest of my shadow, and then my X. Let me change the color, make an orange color. Alright, so just a little 5 should do. 5 should do. 5 is even much. Okay, so 4 should do. Yeah, 4 should do. So this is what I want it to be. So the next thing we need to do now is basically we are going to, where's the other image? Okay, so I did something to this. Yeah, so this particular image, let's go to the front. You would see that in between Esther and Tammy, in between Kenny and Joseph, you would see a light effect there. So this was what I downloaded, and this was what I used. What I did basically was just to adjust this stuff. Alright, I adjusted this stuff to get me what I want. So just go to my saturation, or basically just change the color to give what you want. Alright, but basically I want to use my color filters. So I want to use my color filters. So increase it to 180 and then play with my saturation, make it thin. So this is fair. So I just reduce the size of this. Reduce the size of this. Place it somewhere here. Increase this a bit. Place it somewhere here. Make it faint a bit. Reduce opacity to around 90. Copy this. Copy this. Do the same here. Do the same here. So I think Joseph's picture, we need to bring it down a bit. We need to bring it down a bit. Even that of Kenny. We also need to adjust Kenny's picture a bit. Move it downwards. Move Joseph's picture upward. Right, so now put this image in between them. So all I need to do was send this to the back. Send to the back. Send this also to the back. And then go to my layers and adjust them. Now the fact that I sent to the back, it has been sent to the back of the background as well. So this, which has this, okay, this is Tammy and Esther's own. I need to send this above the background so it can be visible. Send the boat above the background so you can see it's quite visible the way it is. And the next thing I did was that I used and basically we can use a shape to achieve that of this guy. So make it a circle shape. Change the color. Add stroke to it. Increase the stroke basically. Same color, and then your radius. Blur your radius. Let's leave it at 15. 15 will do just fine. Alright, so reduce this a bit. Although we won't get it perfectly, this was not what I used. I will try to locate the exact element I used for it. I really can locate it now. So let's just leave this out of this, right? But when I locate it, I will send it to you if I'm able to see it. So just send it to the back of this guy's images to make it highlights, to highlight their pictures, basically. So the next thing we need to do, we are done with this design. So our Twitter space icon, we also need that. All right, since we don't have it here. So the next thing we need to do now, okay, now let's work on our texture. So we want to apply the texture now to this guy. So go to texture. I'll locate where I have that exact stuff I need. I'll try to locate it. I have it somewhere in my gallery. Let me see. Sender image. Sender
abagabag.com.
No, it's not here. Still sender. Go to sender. I have it somewhere. Just give me a few minutes. Alright, so here it is. Here it is. I would highlight this. Yeah. So I would highlight this and then just position the exact stuff I need. I think this would be fine. So we can't see it till we remove the black color we used initially. Alright, so this is looking too much. I'll now need to adjust my scale. Adjust the scaling. Enable this. No, this was not the initial, this was not the original stuff I used. This is not. If it is, I would know. So let me locate it once more. Locate it once more. Wow, 70 minutes. We're almost done with this design. Let's see. We have it somewhere. Just give me a minute. I'll locate it. Okay. Give me a minute. Ouch. Okay, let's just make use of this. Let's make use of this. What happened?
abagatbag.com.
Let's make use of this. Yeah, this. Also this. So make use of this. We'll adjust this a bit. Alright, so let me flip this. Alright, let me flip this. Alright, so I'm just going to select the part or the angle I need. Okay, no, let me make shots. Let me see. This would be quite much. Let me select. Okay, so I think this will be fair. Let's just use the whole of this. Alright, and then scale this. Enable this. Scale this. I think we're coming up with different concepts, so I'll just leave it this way so as not to take our time further. Alright, so just change all our texts. Change all our fonts, our text rather, our names to black for contrasts. Change the colors to black. Change all colors, all names rather. Taz, black. Fortune, black. Kenny, black. Joseph, black. Alright, so basically this is how it was done. So the same texture is what you apply to your disruptive Twitter space. Apply the same texture to it, and then basically what else do we need to do? Okay, so that's basically all we need to do. And then our hosts, we have to write our hosts. So edit this, write hosts, and our hosts, the font we used for our hosts is taken by Vulture. I think that was one of my best fonts 2021. I made use of that font so well. I drained the font. Taken by Vulture. Alright, so this is it. So let's adjust the padding. Okay, let me bring this to the center so I can show us something. I think I've said this also in one of my videos, but then just to emphasize on it more, I'll get to say it again. Let's increase the size. Yeah, 40 is fine. So you can see now our H is cut off in a way. Our T also is cut off in a way. So in order to adjust this, you go to your padding, increase your left padding. You can see now the H is fully out. Increase your right padding. You can see now the T likewise is fully out. So just position this, centralize this, move it to the right a bit, send upward, and then color it black. My color is gonna be black, right? So here is what we have. So the next thing and the final thing we're going to do, we are going to our image Taz's image. We are going to duplicate his image. Copy. We're going to copy this. So we're going to increase the size of this. Increase the size. Alright, so position it, centralize this. I'm going to centralize this a bit. Centralize this. Right, so what I'm going to do here, what I did here was I sent this to the back, and then I reduced the opacity. Leave it at 20. Leave it at 20, even okay, 18. Just reduce the opacity so you can faintly see him. So that was what I did here. I think I need to reduce the size once more, some more. No, not this. Just leave it this way. So duplicate Taz's picture or the image I'll send to you. That's the image that's going to be in the center. The image you're going to put in the center. Duplicate that image, increase the size, reduce the opacity, and then send it straight to the back. So normally I don't like my background to be plain. It's already this white background where I have my request access and then dates. I don't love it being plain. So what I did was I imported a pattern. You must have seen it several in my designs. I imported a pattern and then I adjusted it. Yeah, this pattern. So I imported this. I don't want to use this. Let me use something different. This is now common. Let me use something different. Here are my patterns. So I'm going to make use of this. Yes. So what I did here basically was that I cropped it to give me a square, and then I adjusted it to fit into this. Alright, so centralize this. Centralize this. Good. And then I reduce the opacity of this so it can be faintly seen in the background. Still reduce the opacity. Yeah, 2 it's okay. So what you need to do is to bring your dates forward and your request access also forward. So this was how I was able to achieve this design that we can see on our screen. So basically what I did not add here was just our Twitter space discussion. You can get that online. So go online, look for Twitter space icon, or rather I'll send it to you also. To locate it now will be quite difficult. Trying to scan through my download to be quite difficult. So I'll send that to you. All you need to do is just it would have a blue background. Erase the blue background, reduce the size, and then place at the middle. So this is how this was achieved. So I know you'll be able to learn 1 or 2 things, implement, practice, and let's also see what you've got. So in our next video, we'll look at something very interesting. So till we meet again, stay creative, stay GK.